All right. Welcome to the Feminine Energy Weight Loss Method Masterclass. I'm here with Sarah, my business partner in this feminine body beauty branch of my business. And we are so excited to share this amazing content with everyone. When Sarah and I first started talking about building out this side of the business, we really saw a vision for the world, and that this content and this information spread like wildfire is really our goal and our mission, because we know from personal experience and just being a woman in this world how prevalent and widespread body image challenges and weight challenges and just self-confidence issues are for us all, and how much of a drain it can be on our hearts and our energy. So I feel so blessed to be able to bring this gift forward in the world. And I'll share a little bit about why the Feminine Energy Weight Loss Method even exists and how it came to be. But before we start, I just want to say that part of the reason that we're here doing this is, and if you know me from Elevated Woman, my other side of the business, what we stand for as a collective, as a community, and as a tribe is for human vulnerability to be protected, not exploited. And we live in a world where it seems to be the opposite of that. And so that's just something that we stand for in this community, is that our sacred energy, our vulnerability, our tenderness, our hearts, we protect it. And so speaking into body image and weight and all of the challenges that we experience as women, it actually very much ties together, because what we believe in this space and in our philosophy is that anytime our emotions and our energy is being drained, there's a level of exploitation that's happening to the feminine energy on the planet, to the goddess power. And we are not for that. We are here to say no to those forces, to claim back our power, and really envision a world where, imagining a world where not just everyone here on this Zoom, we represent the collective. So how many of us are struggling or have struggled with food and body image and skin issues and just things that make us feel separate from our power and our beauty? And we're here to come back to that and really claim it in an authentic and deep way. So what we'll do to start is talk about what FEWL is designed to help you heal. And then I'm going to go into my story a little bit about what I used to struggle with. Sarah's going to go into her story of how she used to struggle. We'll talk about what helped us make this transformation and the shift, and what we are able to support you with as well. All right. So I'm just going to actually kind of recite a little list of things that when people come to us, when our clients come to us, these are often the things that women are struggling with the most. So feel free to close your eyes, lean back, relax, and just take it in and really allow yourself to feel. As I mentioned these challenges, really allow yourself to feel the energies and the frequencies that come in as I speak these words. And as we feel individually, we're also feeling for the collective woman and healing for the collective woman. So allow yourself to feel any heavy emotions and feelings. Let them come to the surface, because we're not here to avoid them. We're here to really look at this issue, not just for our own lives, but for the world. Okay, so just take a deep breath in, let it go. So the Feminine Energy Weight Loss Method is designed to help you heal from many of these challenges that so many women face today. Binge eating, yo-yo dieting, not being able to keep the weight off, going from diet to diet, never having success, losing control with food, not being able to stick to a diet plan, obsessed with thinking about food and body and health, chained to these thoughts, stepping on the scale every morning and feeling your emotions and energy drop when you see the number in front of you. Lifting up your shirt every morning to check the waistline of your belly. Beating yourself up every time you skip your exercise plan. Beating yourself up every time you overeat. Trying to eat very little in order to lose weight. Restricting foods that you think are not healthy or that you think are going to make you gain weight. Over-exercising. Receiving unwanted attention when you're out in public. Not feeling seen and recognized when you're out in public. Not feeling confident in your skin. Acne issues, candida, lack of self-worth and self-confidence, and doubt that you will ever find freedom. And I want you to take a moment to think about how many years, if you were to add up all of the minutes, all of the hours that you have thought about these issues in some way. How much of your life has been dedicated to these issues? Think about the time you have given away. And think about all of the time that every woman in this world put together probably has given to these issues. Take a deep breath in and let it go. So FEWL, which is what we call this program for short, Feminine Energy Weight Loss Method, if you hear us refer to it like that in the future. FEWL is here not just for us individually. FEWL is a movement for the world where we are freeing ourselves from the emotional and energetic drain that these challenges have caused us all of our life, and freeing up that creative energy and Shakti power for what we are really here to create as women. We are the movement, we are the leaders, we are the ones showing the way for so many others. So, let's see, anything else I want to say on that? So before I get into my story, the reason that FEWL is called the Feminine Energy Weight Loss Method is because for most of our lives, the reason why these issues are such a problem for so many women is because we're trying to solve them ultimately from an approach that does not work with our nature as women, which is feminine energy. Feminine energy is fluctuating, changing, transforming from moment to moment. It is the opposite of a single number on a scale. It's the exact opposite. So if you just think of collectively, globally, the diets and exercise programs that are out there, even the coaches and trainers that are having the most success, where we firmly stand as different than any of that is we are against approaching it from a masculine energy. We are against it because from our own experience and as coaches to many other women who have gone through this program, when we go about reaching our goals from that place, it is only sustainable for a short amount of time. Whatever effort we are needing to get there is the effort we need to sustain it. And that is not what we are here to do in FEWL. So we'll go a little bit more into that in just a bit, but I want to share my kind of origin story, my history with all this, and then Sarah's going to share hers as well. So when I was growing up, I grew up in a very masculine kind of mindset world. I grew up as a river guide. My dad was he was an outfitter. So I grew up in a very outdoorsy community. Most of the river guides were men, and I was raised to cowboy up and toughen up and put my needs aside and be as strong and as tough as all the guys. I got attention, I got affirmation and love the more I was able to kind of match up with those energies. I also was praised for being an athlete and having a perfect, just being really athletic and having success in sports. That was something I got love from. And then on top of that, I had a deep ingrained belief that I was not beautiful. I didn't like my face. I thought I looked like, I did not like the way my face looked. And so I decided that in order to make up for my imperfections, for my ugly face, that if I had a perfect body, then it would even out and it would equal out and I would be beautiful. So I spent all of my attention and effort and energy on perfecting and sculpting my body. And I really did have a perfectly sculpted body. I was toned, I was fit, I was thin, and it felt great. And I loved exercising, but the problem with where I was at that time, this was mostly in middle school and high school and a little bit going into college, but that's when everything kind of started to get really challenging. When I look back at that time, although I was physically fit and I looked great, if you were to look inside at my mind, the amount of time I thought about food, diet, and exercise, it literally consumed me. It was 80% of my thoughts. And not only was it taking my energy in that way, but if, for example, I didn't have control of being able to exercise or eat the kinds of foods that I wanted, like we were on a family trip or something, and I wasn't able to get my workout in the way I wanted, it would spiral me emotionally so quickly where I would be in a breakdown because I had a deep fear that if I didn't exercise every single day, that I would blow up like a balloon and get fat. And what's ironic and interesting is at that time, my body actually would fluctuate a lot more than what I experience now. And we'll go into that maybe a little bit, but nevertheless, that was my framework. That was my mind. And then when I got into college and my body started to change because I was in a totally different new setting, exercise was no longer working. So I was gaining weight, and no matter how much I exercised, it wasn't affecting my fitness. So for the first time in my life, my perfect body was changing, and that set me off in an entirely, really, really dark place because my entire identity and self-worth was wrapped up in having a good body. And just to talk a little bit about the binge eating cycles then that I was in for 7 years. Binge eating so bad that I would steal peanut butter from my roommates because I wouldn't allow myself to buy it because it'd be gone in a day or two. So instead of buying it myself, I would just steal big spoonfuls of it from my roommates. Stealing handfuls of dry cereal at 1 o'clock in the morning because, again, I wouldn't buy that for myself. Making trips to the grocery store just to get food to binge on. And then the next day, spending 2 to 3 hours in the gym trying to work it off. More than anything at that time, the behavior was my behavior, but what I was going through on an emotional level was so intense because I felt so out of control. I couldn't go to potlucks because I would just spend the entire time eating and freaking out because I couldn't stop myself. Potlucks were like my nemesis. And on top of that, because my food was so out of whack, my skin was inflamed, I had cystic acne, I just felt so insecure. And my hormones were like I had depression every single cycle before my period started. So that's where I came from. And now it's totally different, but I just want to give you my own kind of journey around this, because it wasn't, let's see, whatever. Before Sarah shares her story, let's see, is there anything else I want to say here? Just that at that time, knowing what I know now, part of why I feel so passionate and why we are passionate about teaching this curriculum is when I think back to those years of my life and how much energy was given away to, like, really my power was given away. That's why we are here, because it's not just the physical challenges that we can experience, but it really is the emotional. We are bound until we free ourselves. And that's where I was at. And that's one of the biggest things that I really feel passionate about supporting each of you to free yourself up as well. So I'm going to hand it over to Sarah, because she's going to share a bit about her story as well. And Sarah, if you want to just add in and just kind of take it from here for a bit, I trust you to go with the flow.
Hi, everyone. So my first memory of thinking about my body was when I was 7 years old. I remember running around the dining room table after dinner to like work off my calories that I consumed at 7 years old. And so I kind of grew up in a household where eating healthy food was very, very important. And in a way, I'm very grateful for that. My mom made a lot of homemade food and smoothies and whole wheat flour instead of white flour, and honey instead of sugar, and all these things. And so I was raised in a way where we ate very, very healthfully, but it kind of set me up for being really obsessive around food. And the first diet I ever remember doing was I tried to be raw vegan for about a month until I noticed that I had no energy and my hair was kind of starting to fall out. So I ditched that, but for another diet. And I went on this cycle of years of trying every single diet under the sun. But I really hit rock bottom in my late 20s. I was working at a bar. And it was just it was a college bar with a lot of beautiful girls and a lot of pressure to be beautiful as part of the work environment. And I started taking diet pills and just doing eating as little as possible and doing whatever it took to be as small as I could, because I really believed that my value was tied up with my body and how beautiful I could be and how small I could be. And it really, really started to spiral out of control. I went through a breakup. And at one point I got down to 98 pounds and I'm 5'5". So I was literally skin and bones, like my yoga pants were baggy on me. And I realized at that point that if I didn't do something, it wasn't going to end well. So I kind of pulled myself out of that, just by my own willpower. But what I replaced it with was just becoming obsessed with, now I'm going to eat, but I'm going to eat perfectly. And I'm going to meal prep and I'm going to follow this plan to a T, and I'm going to work out 5 or 6 days a week. And so then I got really, really into fitness, and I did Beachbody and Orange Theory and all of these really structured, intense workout plans that for a while, it was very effective for me. I gained a little weight back, but then my body was at that point what I believed my dream body was. But the problem was that, like Anya said, I was obsessed with it. I lived and breathed fitness and food. And when's my next workout going to be? Can I get in 2 today? What did I eat last? What am I going to eat next? Did I get my meal prep done? Did I, it was my entire life. And at one point, even though I continued those behaviors, it stopped working. My body just started to rebel against what I was putting it through and to gain weight anyway, even though and so I tried to up the ante and work out harder and eat less, but my body wasn't having it. And that was around the time when I met Anya, and I actually worked with Anya for several months before we started working on my food and weight issues. But at that point, I knew something had to change. And the last diet I ever did was Whole30. And yeah, and that was it. And then that was, yeah, that's when I found Anya. That's when things really started to turn around for me.
So thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate it. Perfect. So where this program steps in is ultimately the turning point for both Sarah and I, and why this is something that we're so excited to share with you, is ultimately, at least for myself, when I was at the height of my struggle and I was gaining weight and I was over exercising, I was doing yoga teacher training, but I was the biggest that I ever have been. And I was puffy, and it was just not, it was not my dream. It was not my dream body. Was when I realized that, hold on one second. After watching my mom also struggle with her weight all of her life, and I know many of you can resonate with this, where, you know, people would say to me, oh, you look so much like your mom. But then I would hear my mom looking at herself in the mirror, just tearing herself apart about her body and her face, everything, just not liking the way she looked every single day, and struggling with weight, going from diet to diet to diet. So it was this mix of both my own experience and watching what women around me from the generation above me were going through and struggling with, and were not fixing and not solving because they were still having these weight issues, that I finally decided that and at that time I was just beginning to study the divine feminine wisdom with my mentor, Shannon Port, and I was doing yoga teacher training. So I was beginning this journey of self-exploration and shadow work, ultimately, and realizing how wrapped up my identity, my self-worth was in my body, that I realized that, and understanding the goddess. So what we just mentioned a little bit earlier, that when you start to study the goddess energy and the divine feminine energy within us, the essence of the divine feminine is fluctuating. And yet we live in a world where we are expecting ourselves to be consistent. And this is the very shift that makes all the difference in this method, is realizing that for as long as we are approaching these issues from a masculine energy approach of rigidity, control, high expectations of performance and perfection, outcome-based, results-based, no pain, no gain, drive, that at some point on our journey as women, it will stop working, because there is no more powerful of a source and a power than the goddess energy within us. We are built to express that energy. So when we approach those issues and those challenges from a masculine energy approach, ultimately the goddess within us rebels. And just like Sarah and I experienced on our journey, that the deeper we went into the restriction and the control, the farther we spiraled into feeling out of control. And the deeper the depression got, the deeper the anxiety got, the deeper the fear got, because, you know, we were grasping and trying so hard and working so hard, and it was just ending up pushing us farther away from where we really wanted to go. So when you apply the feminine energy weight loss method, which is a process of completely redesigning your relationship with your body and food and exercise, redesigning your relationship with your beauty, your skin, your relationship with who you actually are and your identity. This program is not a diet. This program is not an exercise plan. This program is a spiritual and healing journey. It's a program that when you apply and practice these philosophies and make the shift, because it really is a paradigm shift and there's a threshold that you will cross, that when you make that crossing, you get to have the results that you've always desired and worked for, but they happen as a byproduct of your energy. And they happen as a byproduct of the transformation you've gone through on a spiritual, emotional, and energetic level. The reason that this is our philosophy is on a quantum and 5D level, everything that's in our physical world is an emanation of our energy. So our approach is not to work on the physical level, but it's to work on the energetic quantum level. Learn how to master that, and as a byproduct, transform the physical reality around us. As you apply these principles, it's not just your body that you will experience the transformation in, it's also your relationship with money, your abundance, your home, your friendships, your love life. Everything begins to transform, because ultimately what the feminine energy weight loss method is doing is it's helping you to come back and reveal the true self that you've always been. We are not interested in helping you get to a result. We are only interested in helping you to reveal who you've always been. And as a byproduct of that, your dream body reveals itself. And not only does it reveal itself, but it is something that belongs to you. And it's never, again, something that you have to worry about or struggle or fear, because the way that you arrive there is permanent. So again, that's one of the defining and distinguishing aspects of our program, is we do not freaking want you to get results in a way that you have to force it or make it happen. We don't want you to have to meal prep for the rest of your life in order to maintain your ideal body. We do not want you to have to rely on sticking to an exercise plan for the rest of your life for you to have the body that makes you feel good. We don't freaking want that. I get so passionate about it, because we've been so programmed to believe that those are the only ways. And it's freaking exhausting. It's so exhausting. And it makes me mad, because what that actually is doing is perpetuating a programming that hurts the goddess and keeps her suppressed and keeps her diminished and keeps her disempowered. So what we are here to teach is how to let the goddess lead everything. And I was talking to one of you recently, and we were talking about like what you'll learn inside of this program is how to master the materials and how to master the physical. So ultimately you can eat anything and it doesn't affect your body. But what ends up happening is, through this methodology and through this philosophy, you will experience a feeling of so much peace and satisfaction and ease, because you no longer are losing control with food. And that's one of the things that we really dive into, especially at the beginning in this program, is what actually causes the binge eating, the spiritual reasons behind the binging, and what we need to shift in order to heal it from the inside out, to authentically, where we want you to not have to control not eating. We get you to a place where you just genuinely, authentically don't overeat. It's just what your body chooses. That's where we are committed to getting you to. So I'll talk just briefly about in implementing this work. I would say the biggest shift that's happened for me and the biggest relief that I feel is, and I talk about it over and over and over again, but just is just, and I feel a lot of emotion right now just thinking about this, but just thinking about how much of my energy every day was dedicated and drained in thinking about food and exercise in my body. How much of my energy was being drained every day. And now being able to live consistently every single day where I don't have to think or focus on food. And it's not something that is like, it just is. Like food just is. Exercise just is. And my dream body is here. And there's no emotional charge. There's no energetic charge. It just is. And I have a healthy relationship with these things. I eat whatever I want and it doesn't affect my weight, but I naturally tend to eat healthy. It just happens on its own, but I don't have to force or control it. And if I decide to eat something that's not healthy, I don't even label it as that anymore, but I don't worry about it. And it doesn't affect me on a physical level. It's just something that I notice how it makes me feel. And it just supports me. Anything I choose supports me on my healing path. Anything I choose supports me on my healing path. Food does not have that power over me anymore. And exercise, it's like my body is actually more beautiful, more feminine, softer, more supple, still toned, but way more gentle, way more feminine than it ever has been in my life. And it's not something that I don't have to do anything to have that. And that's what feminine energy, that's the gift of working with the feminine energy, is it's not about the doing. It's mastering the being. It's mastering the frequencies. It's mastering the energies and revealing the divine feminine woman that you are. Everything comes in from that place. So just know you're welcome to ask me any questions about my personal journey at any time. You can send me a message on Instagram. For the sake of time, I'll hand it back over to Sarah. One last thing too, just hormones is something that a lot of our clients are struggling with. And that's something that I've also, that's a big thing that shifted for me from this work is my moon cycle is so consistent. It's either with the full moon or with the new moon. It's been that way for 6 years. My skin is completely radiant. I never have issues with acne. I never worry about it. Again, it's not something I think about. It just is. And I feel good in it. I feel more and more beautiful every single day. And that's actually part of, that's one of the gifts that comes out of this, is also ultimately even addressing aging. And like when we learn the energetics, you'll learn how to address those things as well. So I'm just those are little additional things, but I'll hand it over to you, Sarah, to share your story.
Thank you. Yeah, so similar to what Anya is saying, I, through this method, have been able to come to a place of just really trusting my body, trusting when my body wants to move or when it needs rest, trusting that what I'm craving is exactly what my body needs. And over time, I've come to a place where I mostly, I'd say probably 80% of the time, crave to eat the kind of way that I used to try to force myself to eat. But I just naturally, my philosophies have changed a little bit, because once you allow everything, you develop a different relationship with just food in general. So now I eat freely. My body is finding its perfect weight. I've, about probably a year into the program, my weight plateaued. It stayed the same no matter what I did. And then eventually, when I developed enough trust between myself and my body, I just started losing weight. Like literally, it's falling off. It's effortless. I'm not trying. And it's crazy. Like the other day, I was almost brought to tears, because I felt like I had my body back in a sense, but 1,000 times better, because it's my body where my body wants to be. It's not something I'm trying to force it into. I'm not underweight anymore. I have energy to get through the day. I don't need a nap. My hair is growing. I'm healthy. And I'm beginning to see that my outward appearance is a reflection. It is a physical manifestation of my energy, and my energy is pure and good. And like, this is like vibrant health beyond what I imagined was possible for myself that I get to experience now. And I am just in awe of the fact that I get to have this, like Anya says, like as a byproduct of my energy rather than a result that I'm going after. So it's completely changed, and I'm forever grateful.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Sarah. So, that being said, like, this is the thing about FEWL that we really want to be clear about. This is not for you. This program is not for you if you are just quickly wanting to lose weight. We cannot work with you if that is what you are wanting right now. What we can offer you is permanently revealing your dream body whenever that happens in a way that is effortless and easeful and sustainable. And the biggest gift of this program, this is what I think is the biggest gift of this program. The body just is really ultimately a side thing. Like, we get to have our dream body. You get to have your dream body. But the biggest gift of this program is what it does for you on the mental, emotional, and energetic realms, because of how it frees you spiritually from the bondage and the bind of when we have that, when we haven't cleared and healed our relationships with food and exercise. That's the biggest gift that this program offers. And that's really, really what we want to give you, is that freedom. And I guarantee that in that process, your body gets to come along with it. But it's really a 2-for-1 thing. But if you're here just for the body, then we can't work with you, because it won't work. It won't work. Our method won't work for you. So we're really here for the people that are committed first and foremost to their emotional health and their spiritual health, and are here to really reveal what I call true beauty versus the false beauty. It's the beauty that is very minimal on our planet. It's what Sarah is talking about when she spoke of so beautifully, when her body is a physical manifestation of her energy, and her energy is pure and good. That what we master in this program is coming back to who you authentically are as a spiritual being, and the beauty that reveals itself is absolutely breathtaking and stunning, and you will fall in love. You will feel more and more confident every single day. So, Sarah, should we do? I'm thinking of weaving in the vision during the meditation, or should we do that now? I guess I'll do it now a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just touch on it and then go deeper during the meditation.
Okay. So briefly before, I'm going to hand it over to Sarah to kind of finalize this part of the call before our meditation. But so I want you to just close your eyes for a second and take a deep breath in. And just feel the energy that is present. Notice the energy that's bigger than us individually that's here. Perhaps you can sense the meaning, the importance of what we are doing together here and now. I want you to think back to all the times that you have suffered and struggled and been in doubt. Take a deep breath in. Let that go and know that that is the past and that we no longer subscribe or consent to our Shakti force being used in a way that does not uplift and exalt us as women, as goddesses. We get to be the women that are revealing true queen energy on this planet, bringing back true divine feminine power and letting it activate everyone we come into contact with. We get to meet every sacred being, every animal, every flower, every drop of water in this natural world, knowing who we really are, standing firmly in that beautiful essence. I want you to visualize yourself seeing yourself in your dream body. Yes, perhaps it's sculpted and toned, but also notice the softness and the gentleness of your presence in your body. Notice the frequency of your energy, your attitude, your internal state of being. Maybe you're noticing yourself smile or laugh with joy. Soft, joyful, gentle, feminine presence emanating from the inside out. You are radiant. What's possible when you choose to put your spiritual power, your spiritual freedom, your energetic and emotional health first, because you deserve to have that freedom. And you get to have the beautiful body that you've always dreamed of. But are you going to choose to get there in a way that actually honors you, that actually works, even if it takes rewiring your brain and confronting your ego and going against everything that you have been programmed to believe? But how long has that not worked for you? And are you ready to try a new way? Truly new way. Take a deep breath in and exhale, let it go. Sarah, I'm handing it over to you.
So if it's okay with you all, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the 8-month mentorship that we have going on right now. I just want to preface it by saying that the reason it's 8 months long is because, like Anya said before, this isn't a quick fix. It's a long-term commitment that you are making to yourself. And we want to be there for you along the way. And because it's a long process, it's 8 months long. What you're going to get. Oh, and first of all, and I also want to say, if you stay till the end, we are doing that meditation after this. So it's going to be beautiful. But you're going to get 6 modules of Anya's pre-recorded trainings. But this is the same program that I went through that helped me to heal my relationship with food and to really unveil my beauty and my magnetism and confidence in a way that was beyond what I believed was possible. This basically is like the core philosophy. And this training alone is worth its weight in gold and will radically change the way you see yourself and your body, and will change your relationship to food and fitness. The 6 modules teach a feminine energy approach to nutrition, fitness, energy, skin, abundance, and health. And then in addition to the pre-recorded trainings, you're going to get twice monthly live group coaching sessions. And this is where the magic happens. This is where Anya is just like this amazing channel. You can come, you can ask questions, you can support the other people in the community. We have 10 women in right now. And it's my favorite day of the whole week when I get to go on these calls and just be in the energy. It's so powerful. And then we also have a private Facebook group that is an amazing place to connect, build community and accountability. And this is our movement. This community is our movement. And we see everyone in there as like an example of what's possible, and somebody who's going to go out and change the world based on their own energetic shifts and their healing. And then we also do have a couple of spots available to work with me and Anya one-on-one, but I'll get into that in a second. I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the things that I worried about when I first signed up with this program. One of the things I wondered is, I'm going to be 40 in a year. And everybody, I guess it was probably around the time I went over the 35 mark. So like now I'm 36 and I'm not in my mid 30s anymore. Everyone started telling me, well, now's when you're going to start to gain weight, and it doesn't matter what you do, your metabolism is going to slow down. And it just is what it is. And, I don't believe that. And I tried not to believe it then, but it did have me wondering, is this something that's going to work for me? Or maybe it just works for Anya because she's Anya. But I'm here to tell you that it does work. It did work for me. It's continuing to work for me. And literally, beauty is timeless. And age is just a number. So if that's something that is a concern for you, I'm an example of what's possible. And then the other thing that I hear a lot of people talk about when we're talking about if this is right for them or not is this something that I'm going to be able to stick to? Because I've tried everything before and I've never been able to stick to it in the past. So why would this be different? And the answer to that question is that this program is completely different in that there is nothing to stick to. It is literally you tuning into your body and getting to the place where there is no outside information. It's you, and it's about rebuilding that trust. So there's no way that you can do this program wrong. And you've got this. And then another thing that you might be wondering is if it's worth the investment. And all I can say is that this program transforms every single area of your life. It's not something where it's not just another program. It's something that's going to elevate where you're at, change your energetic frequency, and bring everything to you. I've been really getting into learning about online business. I'm become this online business nerd, and I've been reading all these books by this guy, Russell Brunson, who he teaches about online business and marketing and funnels and all this stuff. And he said something in one of his audiobooks the other day that really, really hit me. And it was that after our basic needs are met, we don't trade money for something unless we believe it will elevate our status. And I started thinking about the 3 areas that people seek coaching for or read personal development books for are the areas of love and relationships, success and money, and health, beauty, and fitness. And I was realizing that of those 3 areas, beauty is the only thing that magnetizes all of the other things to us. Like, we can be really successful, but that doesn't necessarily magnetize beauty to us or love to us. We could become we could get into a great relationship, but that doesn't necessarily magnetize money and success and beauty to us. But beauty in its truest form, I'm not talking about like Instagram model beauty. I'm talking about true, real beauty, and you in your purest form literally opens the doors for every single thing that you've ever wanted in your life to be irresistibly drawn to you. Like anything not nailed down to the ground, from like animals to babies, to men, to business opportunities, to like whatever you can imagine. beyond your wildest dreams, unveiling who you truly are and becoming confident and elevating your magnetism and raising your frequency and your vibration changes every other thing in your life. So what is that worth to you? You know, to me, I would invest over and over and over and over again in the same way that I did to have that, because it changes everything. To tell you a little bit more about the one-on-one opportunity that we have, it is only available for 2 people, and it's to work with Anya and me for an entire year. And it comes with access to the 8-month FEWL mentorship. So you will get the pre-recorded trainings, the twice monthly live group coaching sessions, the private Facebook group, and 2 monthly calls with me and 1 monthly call with Anya. So we're literally going to take your hand and we're going to walk through the entire year with you. And if this is the year that you're ready to transform your entire life, then this is the opportunity for you. I worked with Anya for a year, from about October of 2018 through the end of 2019. I did every single program that Anya ever came out with, and I invested in one-on-one coaching with her. And that was easily the most transformative year of my entire life. I met the love of my life. I increased the sales in my business by 50%. And I started to heal my relationship with my body. And I found my purpose, my confidence, my magnetism. It opened up doors for me that I didn't imagine were possible. So what can change in a year when you decide to invest in yourself? It can literally change the trajectory of your entire life. This opportunity is available for the one-on-one coaching for 2 people for $8,888, which is an insane deal for an entire year of one-on-one coaching, like literally unheard of. And the price to do the feminine energy weight loss mentorship for 8 months is a much lower investment. And right now we are offering $3,000 off. And if you decide to book a call with me to learn more, we'll give you an additional $500 off. That price is only going to be good until the end of the week. So it is going to be going up pretty soon, but we do have that special offer for everybody on this call. Yeah. Anya just put in the chat the link to book a call with me. So if you book a call by the end of today, you'll get an additional $500 off our already lowered price. So yeah, let's jump on the phone and chat if that sounds like something that you guys would be interested in.
Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. So powerful. And thank you for the amazing testimonial. The last couple of things that I want to share that just came in as Sarah was speaking, and I was just feeling into all of your energy and who you are as individuals, and knowing where you're at and remembering where I was at is this one thing. If you are not happy with where you're at right now in your body, there is a wisdom that is saying there is something more. And this is not the true me being fully expressed. We are uncomfortable until we are in alignment. And you deserve to be a woman that gets to express who you truly are, where your physical manifestation, your physical body, your home, your animals, your family, your love life, your kids, your sex life, your friendships reflect who you are. So we are committed to you revealing who that woman is on a physical representative level of who you know you are on the inside. And you deserve that. We all deserve that. And that's what my life is committed to for myself. I am committed to that. It's a commitment I've made to myself. And anyone that is in my field, I am fully committed to that for them as well. And the last thing is that this really truly is a movement. It's beyond our individual lives. Although we are working on our individual lives. As you can tell, as we do this work and we heal, this is different than other programs that are out there. There's a spiritual depth and a spiritual importance to this landing on the planet right now. And this work is beyond just giving to ourselves. So I really truly see, like Sarah was saying, everyone who jumps on this train with us, we are leaders, and you can decide to lead in whatever way that you want, but just know that as you integrate these frequencies and these teachings and this understanding, you really are transforming the world everywhere you go because of the energy you hold and the paradigm that you represent for the world and for women. So thank you for being here for the Feminine Energy Weight Loss Method Masterclass. If you are not here live and you're watching this in the future, there is a link below to actually access the meditation that we are going to be doing right now. And I just want to thank everyone who is here live for your energy. It's so sacred to be here with all of you. And thank you for your beautiful attention and attentiveness. I really feel it, and we really appreciate it so much. So thank you so much, and sending lots of love.